5 planets: Jupiter, Mercury, Venus, Uranus, and Mars, gathered within a small 50-degree range in the sky. People who got to observe it had on a short time frame at sunset to do so. Near the horizon, 2 bright objects were visible: Jupiter at a magnitude of 2.1 and Mercury at a magnitude of 1.3. They'll be located in the constellation Pisces, separated by about a degree. Higher up in the sky, Venus will shine brightly with a magnitude of -4.0 in the constellation Aries. Viewers with a pair of strong binoculars were able to see Uranus nearby, shining with a magnitude of 5.8 at a distance of about 2 degrees from Venus. Mars, at a magnitude 0.9, joined the alignment higher in the sky, near the first quarter moon in the constellation Gemini. A stunning visual took shape in late March when 5 planets lined up beneath the moon in a display sometimes called a planetary parade or alignment. On Thursday evening, the 28th of March, just after sunset, observers were able to catch the best glimpse of the alignment. Although much of the display became visible on Friday, the 29th of March, and has lasted a few weeks since then. As of this recording, the most abundant sights were visible on Thursday, the 28th, according to Cameron Hummels, a computational astrophysicist at the California Institute of Technology. Hummels said that alignments like this one happen every few years, and most of them can be seen with the naked eye, even in areas with a lot of light pollution, and it can be seen in both the northern and southern hemispheres. If you're keen to still check this out, the arrangements will be visible just beneath the crescent moon. To identify the display, Hummels recommended heading out to a place with a good view of the western horizon just after sunset, when streaks of the colorful sunset remain and the sky has turned dark blue but not yet black. For those living to the far north should look slightly southwest, while those in the southern hemisphere should gaze northwest, according to Hummels. Venus, often referred to as the evening star, is the easiest planet to spot because it's the brightest object in the night sky apart from the moon. Unless you're viewing from a prime location with no light pollution, it may be difficult to pick out the distant planet without binoculars or a telescope, such as Uranus appears close to Venus. Beneath Venus and Uranus will be Jupiter and Mercury, which will hover just above the horizon. As the sun's glare can blot out the planet, Mercury may be difficult to catch without special equipment. However, according to Hummels, both planets will be visible for about 20 to 30 minutes after sunset. Topping off the planetary parade will be Mars, sitting right next to Jupiter, Mercury, Venus, Uranus, and the moon. Hummels added that it is easy to pick out because of its orange tint. The planets will appear across the night sky like pearls on a necklace. The entire alignment will cover just about 70 degrees of the sky. Hummels said one method for measuring degrees in the sky is to use your thumb or closed fist, extended away from your body. A fist at arm's length will cover about 10 degrees, while a thumb covers about 1 degree. This kind of planetary alignment may appear every few years, but it is possible to catch planets all together in an even smaller patch of sky. Those occurrences are just as rare. The June 2022 alignment was the first of its kind since 2004. The event included all 5 planets that can typically be seen with the naked eye: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Hummels advises not to assign too much significance to a planetary alignment. He said, "It's kind of like when your car's odometer shows a bunch of numbers, like it reaches 44,444. It's cool and unusual, it just doesn't really mean anything." Noah Petro, a scientist with the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter project at NASA, said, "The heavens are aligning. If you have a telescope, you can dust them off, or a pair of binoculars. It's a great excuse to get out and look for the night sky. And if you don't, you can still see those planets." Of course, the spectacle will be visible to viewers from around the world as long as clear skies and a view of the western sky are available. Because several planets are gathering on one side of the sun at the same time, the family portrait moment is called a planetary alignment. In this scenario, the planets will form a literal line beneath the moon. Petro also suggests that the best viewing of the planetary gathering was Tuesday the 28th, but for those who didn't get a chance to catch it then, there's still time to see the show. The planetary party will happen almost every night for a couple more weeks. According to NASA Ambassador Tony Rice, Jupiter just may become more difficult to see as it sinks closer to the horizon the rest of the weeks. Rice suggested, on other days, actually provide better opportunities to see Mercury as it puts another degree between it and the horizon through mid-April. Currently, 4 out of the 5 planets will be visible with the naked eye if there's a clear view of the horizon. Like Hummel's previously recommended, watchers will want to get some equipment if they want to see Uranus. Petro further explains that it's not uncommon for planetary alignments to happen, but it's certainly noteworthy when most of the planets are visible to the naked eye. After Jupiter and Mercury make their grand exit, Venus will steal the show with its brightness. Uranus will linger near Venus, but it'll be harder to spot than Venus. Mars will be positioned highest in the sky, right under the moon. Rice explained that the celestial lineup isn't especially rare, despite the good reason to look up. Rice concludes saying, it happens every time the planets line up on one side of the sun, which, given Mercury's 88-day orbit and Venus's 225-day orbit, is about once a year. So, when is the next alignment? The night sky is often decorated by fascinating celestial phenomena, such as when Jupiter and Venus appeared within half a degree of each other this month. On October 14, sky watchers can expect to see a total eclipse of the sun, or ring of fire eclipse. In April 2024, a solar eclipse will block out the sun at midday for many people in the United States. Starwalk, an astronomy education app, predicts that Earth dwellers will have ample opportunities to see clusters of planets in the sky this year. On April 11, you'll have the chance to spot Mercury, Uranus, Venus, and Mars. However, the next most significant planetary alignment will not take place until September 8, 2040. On this night, stargazers will be able to see the 5 planets, Venus, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn with the naked eye, along with the crescent moon between Venus and Saturn. The next major alignment will occur 40 years later, on March 15, 2080, with 6 planets visible in the morning sky, including Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, and Uranus. Additionally, it'll feature the Great Conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter. Over a century later, there is another exciting celestial event that'll take place. On May 19, 2161, all the planets in the solar system, including Earth, will end up on one side of the sun. This means that we'll be able to see every planet in the sky. So, have you been able to catch a glimpse of this incredible phenomenon? If you were, did you get to see all the planets aligned? And which was the brightest? Please let us know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching Space Age.